I don't tolerate Jalen Milroe slander. If you want to criticize him, you'd better have a comprehensive play-by-play breakdown of his performance over the past 2 years. Far too many people make terrible, unfounded claims about Jalen without doing any real evaluation. I've seen plenty of this nonsense on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And some folks try to gaslight you by saying their critiques aren't hate. But let's be honest, many of these so-called critiques are nothing more than veiled attacks. And don't worry, I've got examples. So take Tommy, for instance. He claims Jalen is the dominant quarterback in Alabama history. Like, that's an overarching statement with zero evidence to back it up. If you disagree with him, he probably argued tooth and nail to defend his baseless claim. And what metric is he using to judge a quarterback's intelligence? How can he possibly know what Jalen is capable of in that level? And I've got video evidence on this very channel showing Jalen making smart decisions in the passing game. And then there's Taylor, who boldly declares that Jalen doesn't watch film. Again, how would he know that? I've got video proof that Jalen reads defenses effectively, yet Taylor acts like his baseless opinion is fact. And let's not forget the people who don't even bother with an argument. They just call Jalen names. These individuals offer no evidence, no proof, just empty insults. Meanwhile, I have the receipts to show they're wrong. One of the most frustrating takes I've seen is the claim that Jalen runs like a running back, which is crazy. It's lazy analysis because he doesn't even run like a running back. If I had time, I'd break that down exactly, and I'll show you why that critique doesn't hold water, but that's a topic for another video. Then there's Chris here, who doubles down on the same tired claims others have made, but takes it a step further by telling people to shut up if they disagree. The arrogance there is astounding. Now, with all of that said, I do have to wonder why Alabama doesn't have a dedicated quarterback coach on staff. I don't think offensive coordinators should pull double duty in this area. Most quarterbacks don't just magically know how to become elite. Some fans seem to think otherwise, probably because they're used to players like Tua Tagovailoa or Bryce Young, who arrived at Alabama more polished as elite pocket passers. What these fans fail to understand is that not every quarterback has had the same resources or coaching to help them develop. Some guys have coaches since like middle school, and not everybody has that or the money to do that. So let's go back to 2018. That was the year Tua took over for Jalen Hurts. Alabama had Dan Enos on staff as the dedicated quarterbacks coach, and he wasn't pulling double duty as the offensive coordinator. That year, we saw noticeable improvement from both Tua and Jalen. When Jalen stepped in during the SEC championship game, he played some of the best football of his career. People forget that development takes time, even at Alabama. Not everyone develops at the same rate, and that's okay. It is almost like fans do not expect their quarterbacks to learn how to play quarterback anymore. Quarterback is a position where you learn and grow. Not everyone starts from the same point, and not every quarterback is ready to dominate as a freshman. Unfortunately, many fans have gotten spoiled by the rare QBs who come in and excel right away. Development is part of the process, and fans will do well to remember that. Jalen Milroe has shown he can play well from the pocket, even dating back to last season. However, his consistency and his production have suffered not just due to his own mistakes, but also because of larger systemic issues within Alabama's offense this year. The team has tried to lean heavily on Jalen Milroe's pocket passing ability, but the offensive line, particularly the tackle positions and the overall scheme execution, aren't at the level needed for a high-volume passing offense. The wide receivers, while talented, are still developing and don't match the polished performances we've seen from Alabama's legendary receiver corps that had players like Julio Jones, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Waddle, Calvin Ridley, Amari Cooper, Henry Ruggs, and Devontae Smith, sometimes on the same team. Alabama thrived with that kind of receiver talent for years, but there's been a noticeable drop-off over the past 3 seasons. The lack of execution at a high level has compounded these issues, and also the fact that they don't have a dedicated QB coach. I think that makes a major difference in the play here. And so another key point is the underutilization of the running backs. When Alabama commits to the run, the backs control and they control the game and alleviate pressure on Jalen Milroe. Yet the team's current offensive strategy puts too much on his shoulders, in my opinion, which is something even NFL teams avoid with their quarterbacks. So this approach creates a situation where the offense struggles and Milroe gets to blame for it, even though he's not being set up to succeed. So Alabama's challenges this season go far beyond one player, And it's frustrating to see how this impacts perceptions of Jalen Milroe, especially when he's learning the position and he doesn't have someone who's specifically devoted to teaching how to play quarterback. I feel like more teams should have a quarterback coach. I say all that to say, while Jalen has not been perfect and he does have room to improve, to overstate his mistakes and claim that he is incapable of being a quarterback is completely baseless, and it ignores the greater reality of the state of the Alabama football team.